Hello everyone. I think the video is just getting started here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am about to launch my brand new coaching program. This is something that I've been really afraid to do because it is going to go against the norms. I know they say don't get weight loss advice from somebody who's fat. Obviously, I'm not quite where I need to be, but I'm not where I used to be. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey, what I've done, how I can help, and who I help with this program. So I'm going to start out, first of all, if you're just watching, and maybe you don't qualify for this program, but you would like to support me in my coaching program, then please type in #live if you're watching the live, type in #replay if you're watching the replay. And if you want more information about how to join my new mentorship program, then type in more in the chat and I will reach out to you and make sure that you have all the information you need to join the program. So this is going to be a little bit off the cuff because I have been delaying doing this because I've been trying to do it perfect. In fact, I was trying to wait until I actually hit 100 pounds lost. Back in July 13th, 2021, I was 334.6 pounds. As of yesterday, I was 238.6 pounds. So clearly I am still obese, but I am not where I used to be. When I started this journey, I have been struggling with weight all of my life. Once I hit grade 3, which was when I was 8 years old, and I started gaining weight rapidly. And so what I didn't know at the time was the reason why I was gaining weight so rapidly as a child. I remember being put on my first diet in grade 3. I was put on the Scarsdale diet and I had to take these like chunks of meat to school, and I really felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated. I was always bigger than all of my friends growing up. And you know, I remember my friends making fun of me as they would put on my pants and 2 of them could fit into my pants. So I've always been bullied. I've always been made fun of for the weight gain that I had. And I have been up and down the scale for a number of years. So like I said, I started dieting when I was 8 years old. I'm currently 52. And I feel like I have found what has actually worked for me, and I understand the reasons why and the root causes and the core corrective actions that I need to be able to take to actually finally beat this. So back in 2002, I had lost a bunch of weight, and I was determined to finally, fix the weight gain that I had had. I had been hovering around 300 pounds for most of my teenage years. I was about 32 and I lost 75 pounds when I was doing Atkins. And I did really well. And then I ended up finding my husband at the time, and then I gained weight very, very rapidly. Again, I felt hopeless. I felt out of control. I didn't understand why I kept gaining so much weight. I always equated being bullied, being shunned, put down, passed over for dates, for jobs. I made up for these feelings of inadequacy, these feelings of shame, by working extra hard. I really tried to outwork that because, of course, every time you've heard the saying, if they're fat, then they must be lazy. So I tried my best to make sure that nobody ever perceived me as somebody who was lazy. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked. and I worked out, I went to the gym, I did all kinds of things, and I didn't understand why, even at what I thought was the happiest time of my life, I was gaining weight so rapidly. And after I got married, the weight came back on so fast. It didn't take long, and I not only was at 300 where I used to be, I went up to almost 400 pounds. I tried looking for some pictures of me back then, and of course, when you're almost 400 pounds, you don't let people take your picture. You're always the one taking the pictures. So I don't have very many pictures. I do have a couple. So the first 5 years of my marriage, I struggled with weight. Everybody was concerned for me around me, and I ended up finally going for weight loss surgery. And I thought this would actually finally fix everything. So in 2010, I actually went for bariatric weight loss surgery, and I actually almost died having that procedure done. They didn't really say that, but when I came out of the procedure, they did talk a lot about how they were concerned that they had trouble stopping the bleeding because of being 400 pounds. I was on anti-inflammatories, and it had thinned my blood to the point where even when I come off of those, I had struggled with being able to get my blood work where it needed to be. So having the weight loss surgery, I thought this was going to fix everything. Personally, I didn't really want to go through with it at the time, but there was a lot of pressure and concern from my family members of, my health and what kind of effects it was going to have. So I took a very risky decision, and I had this weight loss surgery. And I did really well. I went from 400 and I dropped down to about 250 pounds. And then the weight started to come back on again. And again, I didn't understand. And I got shamed by the doctor that I had at the time, who, when he came in and he saw that I had had weight loss surgery, he's like, well, I guess that failed. And that translated to I was a failure. And I carried all of this shame, all of this guilt for just not being good enough. And I hadn't figured out the true path of being able to do this. And it didn't matter. I've been on so many diets. I've done Weight Watchers, and it seems like every time I went back to trying something that worked before, it no longer worked. And I didn't understand why. And I felt defeated, and I thought, hey, this just must be my life. There's nothing I can do about it. It must be genetic. And I've just got to live with this. And I now know that that is not the case. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I stumbled across this, but I hadn't really kind of put the pieces together as to what was going on. I came into high ticket sales and I fell in love with it, and I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't really get myself to move forward. I went into high ticket coaching, and I really, really fell in love with that there. But then the next thing happened, and in 2021, I found a coach that I was going to for sales and confidence coaching. But there was something interesting that really happened. And I started to lose weight. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And for some reason, I felt okay to really open up to this coach. And I shared some things that I had never shared before. And I got to some core truths. And this, being able to share that kind of stuff, actually changed my life. Now, I started to lose some weight. I sent some pictures. So that's where I'll show some pictures of when I had sent my coach. And I had only sent it after I had lost some weight. So I was probably close to 340 before I had sent the first screenshot. So I was 334.6 on July 13th, 2021. And I started to lose some weight. But then in 2022, it started to come back on again. And it was after I had launched my coaching program where I was trying to help closers heal past trauma. And in that process of, although I had done a lot of work, I had been sexually abused as a child by many different men. And it wasn't until grade 3, when I was 8 years old, that we had the sexual abuser was living in the house with us, and he was a very violent man. And that is the reason why I started to gain the weight. So as I was doing how to help closers heal past trauma, I knew what had worked for me and the tools, but I did some research to make sure that I wasn't leading people astray. And in doing that research, what I didn't realize was I was going to trigger the hell out of myself because I hadn't finished healing, and I hadn't been aware of some of the effects of the childhood abuse that I went through actually had on me. And so in understanding that, I read I haven't even read all of it, so I'm going to be fully transparent, but the book, The Body Keeps the Score, and I can't remember the author at this moment, but he had talked about how there were studies with women who were unable to lose weight, and how almost every single one of them had experienced childhood sexual abuse. And they also found there was a correlation with veterans who had suffered PTSD. So in understanding that, I started to do some work. I've done quite a bit of inner child work and understanding my own PTSD and what it is I've needed to change and how I've been able to do that. So I've done a lot of inner child work. I've done a lot of healing, a lot of crying, and being able to take this last, I think it's been 9 months now, they have been the most challenging time of my entire life. I've gone through a divorce, I've had a couple of cats die, I've lost my jobs, I've had some money challenges, we've sold our house, a bunch of different things. And during all of this, I have still managed to lose almost 100 pounds. By the time it's July 14th, I will have lost that full 100 pounds, okay? And I'm not stopping there. So little things that I've noticed along the way is there have been a lot of non-scale victories. So I know it's easy to measure all of that, but in the scale. But for me, I've noticed things that I can do that I haven't been able to do before. I can go up and down the stairs now without holding on to the hand railing. And I used to have to go up one step at a time like an old lady. And now I can do this normal. Not quite as strong as I want to, but better than I used to be. And another little thing that I want to share that I had noticed the other day, I was standing with my legs, just shoulder apart, and I noticed that my thighs they just barely rub against each other, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's a weird feeling. That's really cool. So these are little things that I've been able to do. I've been able to increase my confidence. I feel better about myself, not because of the weight loss, but because I am now taking care of myself, that I've been able to change this. Now, my program, part of the reason why I've been so fearful is because all marketing tells you need to be able to sell the solution on how to do this fast. My program is not about doing this fast. My program is about doing this forever. I've done too many diet programs of being able to do this in a short amount of time. Weight loss surgery is that's supposed to be the fastest one possible. And it still didn't get me to my goal. I am now lower weight than I was when I had the bariatric weight loss surgery. So, and I have actually enjoyed this journey. I have done this weight loss without obsessing and tracking food. I don't measure calories. I don't count carbs. I don't count macros. I don't do hormone balances. And I'm not saying that those things are bad, and those are all valuable, but what I've found is the inner work is important to be able to do this, and this has been enjoyable for me, of being able to have this sustainable. My goal in finally reaching my healthy weight, which my goal target is 125 pounds. That's where, for my height, my weight, my build, I should be in a healthy range. So I'm about 114 pounds away. So I'm really proud of how far I've come, and that this journey is not over. And I was originally going to wait until I hit my goal before I started helping people, but I believe I can still help somebody out there. My program, like I said, is not for somebody who's looking for a quick fix or fast. You know, if you want quick fix or fast, there's a multitude of programs out there. My goal is forever, that the weight that I lose never ever comes back. And I'm confident that this time I will get there, and I will also show others the way. Why? Because I have a goal to be able to help 1 million people heal past trauma. And my entire family line has all been obese because of the trauma that we have gone through. And it's been a way of coping, and I now have fun, healthy ways that I actually deal with this. I deal with my emotions. I deal with the challenges that I'm dealing with in a healthy, beneficial way without resorting to food to cope. So, who is this program for? This program is for somebody who wants to learn how to lose weight in a way that is healthy and sustainable without having to eat foods that you don't like. You're not going to have to eat foods that you hate. You're not going to have to measure and track all of your foods. You're not going to have to count calories. You're not going to have to do crazy workout routines and worry about whether or not this is going to fit your lifestyle. You are not going to have to worry about, well, I have food allergies, or I have kids, or this program is going to be created and designed for you to have the tools for you to cure your own obesity, just like I am curing mine. There is no one right way to do this. If you've tried other ways and it has not worked for you, then maybe this method will work. So, like I said, who is this program for? This program is for somebody who has 100 or more pounds to lose. And ideally, you're at a starting point of 300 pounds or more. If that is you, or if that is somebody that you know, let them know that they may be a good fit for the program. If you've tried multiple times to lose weight and you have not been able to keep it off, like I said, I have been up and down the scale since I've been 8 years old, and I'm now 52. This time, it's not coming back on. Okay? If you're one of those people that when you see the weight loss ads and you roll your eyes like I do, going, yeah, right, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, not going to work, then this program is for you. If you're looking for this to be the last time you ever have to worry about weight loss, then this program is for you. Who this program is not for. If you're somebody who needs a bunch of scientific data, research, testimonials, NASA quality data on why this works, then this program is not for you. This is a psychological, emotional, and spiritual program. These are all tools and methods that I have used and strategies I've put in place to be able to help myself lose the weight. And I get it. Maybe you're skeptical. Maybe you're like, yeah, okay, it'll work for you, Tina, but will it work for me? That's a good question. Here's the thing. Do you want it to work with you? Are you sick and tired of being where you're at? Are you sick and tired of being where I was at, where I couldn't move around? I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. I couldn't live my life. I was embarrassed to go out. I was terrified and anxious when I had to meet people in person, because what would they think? I had worked so hard on building other attributes of being smart and being funny and being a people pleaser so that other people would like me. But deep down, I felt nothing that I ever did would make up for the fact that I was fat. And understanding what I've had to work through, this has been an enjoyable process. This has not been something that I'm having to do. You will not have to do any workouts that you don't want to do. You will not have to eat foods that you do not want to. This is a gentle approach to weight loss. This is a sustainable approach to weight loss, and this will be something that you can live with for the rest of your life to help you get to where you want to go. And let's say I can't get you to your goal, but you're, say, 300 pounds like I was, and I can help you lose that 100 pounds. Would that be worth it for you? Okay? If you're looking for fast results, this is not the program for you. This program is about forever results. For fixing this once and for all within yourself, and you have to be committed to go through the steps, to go through the challenges. And this is, just because it's a gentle approach doesn't mean it's an easy one. It will require you to look deep within and really do this deep emotional work. I can help guide you on that. I've done this myself. This is not stuff that is theory. This is stuff that I use every day, day in, day out. Okay? If you're somebody who is looking for the magic foods to eat or not eat, the perfect workout plan to do or not do, or follow, or how often that you have to follow it. You don't have to have consistency. You don't have to have discipline. You just have to keep showing up, okay? And I know this goes against everything that's out there. And it may seem like I'm selling a pie in the sky kind of thing. I'm just showing you what has worked for me, and if that is something that interests you, I will help you create a program that is something that you can stick with for the rest of your life. That it won't be painful, that you won't be looking at, well, why do other people get to do this and I don't? Okay? So like I said, I have lost this 100 pounds without tracking food, without counting calories. I eat what I want, when I want. I don't follow any crazy workout routines, and I only work out when I want to. Could I lose the weight faster? Probably yes, but that's not the goal of my program, and that's not the focus of the program. The goal is one purpose: to lose the weight in a way that I enjoy and never ever gain it back. If that's something that appeals to you, then you might be a good fit for my program. Okay? And like I said, I am somebody who has experienced this. I've struggled with obesity my whole life, and I am tired of taking advice from somebody who has no idea what it's like to deal with obesity. Has anybody seen the movie The Whale with Brandon Fraser? I got to go to a premiere of that in Los Angeles in February. And it was a really great movie. But that being said, it also made me aware of being an obese person, sitting in that movie, watching a movie about somebody who's obese and that they die from this. And they did a really good job, but I don't think they really understood what it's like from this side and really feeling that. So I want to help change that. I want to help heal trauma. And obesity is not a character defect. It is a symptom of PTSD, of trauma that you've been through. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm a coach, and I am somebody who's experienced this myself. I'm going to share based off of my experience in hopes that that helps you. If you resonate with me, and I'm going to be doing more posts, so maybe you're not quite sure, maybe you want to see me get more results, perfectly fine if you want to wait. But for a limited time, I do have some beta pricing for the launch of my new program. And it's for a limited time. I'm giving myself to July 14th to finish hitting that 100 pounds lost. So it's only 4 pounds away. But I'm going to have a special bonus for those of you that know me, know that if you come into my coaching program, I am going to love the shit out of you. And we are going to do this together. And you might actually even lose the weight faster than me. But we will find a solution, and we are going to cure obesity together. Okay? So the regular price of my group coaching mentorship program, it's a 1-year program. That regular pricing is going to be $5,000. If you want, in addition to the group coaching, you want private one-on-one coaching, that is going to be $10,000. That is the regular pricing. But for a limited time, until July 14th, I'm offering beta pricing. So for the group coaching, it's going to be a $3,000 offer for 1-year mentorship. And if you want one-on-one coaching, it's going to be limited to the first 10 people that have the one-on-one coaching. It's going to be 6 months of coaching, and that program is going to be $5,000 for the beta launch. During the first 90 days, which is going to start on Canada Day. Why? Because I'm Canadian and I'm awesome. It's going to be July 1st, Canada Day. The first 90 days is going to be daily let off that maybe this is a different way that they can do this, a way that they can do this in a sustainable way. And it's actually going to be fun. It's not just going to be pain. It's going to be fun. One of the things that I have done and I have incorporated is art therapy. So art therapy will be part of the training that I will be doing. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have dance parties. I'm going to show you some of the workouts that I have done and how I do that without trying to be perfect about it. So this is going to be authentically me. It's going to be fun, and I really want a group of loving, kind, caring, committed people. And I know that if you've struggled with obesity, that you have a heart of gold and that you've been trying to deal with your feelings emotionally through food. And this is going to help you break that obsession with food and actually start living and enjoying your life like I have done. And I cannot wait to share that with you, and I am really excited. Nervous I've done this, but like I said, this is going to be a really fun time. Daily coaching starting July 1st, Canada Day. It's going to be a 30-minute topic, 30-minute Q&A, so all of your questions can be answered. Beta pricing, group program, $3,000, and $5,000 if you want private one-on-one mentorship. This is what I'm doing in addition to a lot of other business projects and investing that I am working on. But this is my passion project. This is one that is near and dear to me, and this will give me a community that I can help and give back to and help you achieve the results and the freedom that I've been able to achieve. And I'm really, really excited to share this with you. And if you want more information, please comment below more, or private DM me if you prefer that. You can message me. Share this, and I look forward to being able to help you, and I'll be posting more on a regular basis, okay? Scary, but I did it, yay me! So, with that, guys, I hope you have an amazing day, and we will talk to you all soon.